Good. Everything good?
All right, thought we wouldn't have a student rep yet. Make a little note of myself. Okay, are we ready to go? Yes. Okay. The board met tonight in exec session. We are now ready to begin the public portion of our evening. We had a lot of written communication, as you might expect, since July 22nd. And I am going to review that with the caveat that it is written communication addressed to the full board as opposed to just addressed to one person or two people. And before I start, I will say that on June 17th, we received an email from a parent regarding a personnel matter. It was incorrectly listed as public communication under the name Christina Glantz. The parent's name should have been recorded as Christina O'Neill, and the record has been corrected. So I will go in reverse order. From the 4th of September to the 9th of September, we received a succession of emails from Cecilia Adams Charles and Clifford Charles on a student matter. That has been addressed by the high school administration. On 8/25, we received emails, we've received a succession of emails regarding personnel matters, the same personnel matters from a succession of individuals, including Margot Portaveri, Rachel Hogan, Paulette Sanati, Brian Keene, Eileen Ippolito Clark, Brian Savitz, Janice and Mike Tierney, Heather Karate, and Heather Ballantyne. All of those emails have been answered and acknowledged and answered. We also, on August 6th, had an email from Rachel Bryan concerning reading instruction and intervention, and that was addressed by our acting superintendent, Ms. Kiewit. So that is our written communication. The president's report. Welcome back to everybody. Town is humming again after the summer. I want to direct your attention to the fact that our Director of Student Services and acting principal at Central, Jack DeWitt, lost his brother just 2 weeks ago. So our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family, as I'm sure yous are as well. Board of Ed members, you have received copies of the collated version of the annual board self-evaluation. Review them. We will review them together at our October 7th meeting. As many of you know, we have a student representative always with us, and it's not time for reports yet, but would you introduce yourself?
I'm going to be a senior this year at Glen High School.
Okay, thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
And tonight we will work on the 25-26 board and district goals. Now, I sent all of you earlier some proposed goals. Let's start with board goals because our acting superintendent has already submitted some draft board goals. And they fall into 3 categories: teaching and learning, wellness, and expanding curricular choices at Glen High School. So under teaching and learning, implementation of new ELA, English Language Arts curriculum, concentrating on K-5 training, classroom libraries for greater student engagement and choice, and the move to a new data system, Linkit, to help drive instruction. For those of you who don't know, Linkit is a score aggregator that really helps and saves a lot of work for administration while providing educators with information key to student performance. We also, I thought maybe this should go under teaching and learning when we'll continue to support phonics first. Under wellness, we are doing Capturing Kids' Hearts, implementation, pre-K through 6, the GROW program at RAS, the new wellness program at the high school, which replaces ESS, which is an outside vendor, essential school services, with our own staff. And we also, of course, will be conducting a climate and culture audit at the Ridgewood Avenue School. And that is done by the College of St. Elizabeth University. And then on goal 3, expanding curricular choices at GRHS, more dual credit courses, business offerings like accounting, and also a student interest course survey, see what our students really would like to take. So does anyone have any comments or suggestions for the board goals? Well, that would be, I'm sorry, not board goals. Let's start with, superintendent, district goals. Sorry, district goals. Any comments on those district goals, which were drafted by Winnie? Looks like we have consensus on district goals. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to discussion of possible board goals. Now, we could do it. I posed the question to the 2 vice presidents. In the past, we've done board goals in a number of different ways. We've done it by committee so that each one of the standing committees submits a potential goal, and then we review them together. We can do that, or we can hash them out tonight. What is the pleasure of the board?
By committee.
I agree.
Committee? Okay. All right. Well, then we will have committee meetings this month coming right up. So committee chairs, if you can email Winnie and Glory to set up committee meetings so that we can get that done. And then if the committee chairs can circulate the goals that they come up with or send them to me, I'll collate them, circulate them so that we will all be in the loop as far as potential goals. I think obviously one of our big goals this year is selecting a new superintendent, something we can all agree on, but each committee can use its discretion in determining a goal, with remembering that goals should be large and overarching as opposed to being small and prescriptive. If there are other ideas that come up that are not big enough to be goals but are still important, we can use them to fill out the committee rosters as the committees meet over the course of the year. So that sounds like a plan. So committees. Thank you all. All right. That concludes the president's report. So now we're ready for the superintendent's report. And this is the first one by our new acting superintendent.
Look at all the nice children here today. Welcome to the lacrosse team. Some very exciting information about that. But welcome back to the Fireflies, the Linden Lion, the Central Cheetahs, the Ridgewood Rhinos, and the Zebras at GRHS. Welcome back to everyone. But today we'd like to honor, congratulations to the boys lacrosse team. Rob Hill, would you like to say a few words about these fabulous young gentlemen here?
First off, good evening, everybody. Our boys lacrosse team last year went through one of the most amazing runs that I have seen, and I have been around the game as a player and a coach in the past, and watching what they were able to accomplish is nothing short of remarkable. They truly bought in, became a team, believed in each other. I remember being down at a game down at Shore Regional, a team that had knocked us out of the playoffs a couple of years in a row, and watching this team turn a corner and watching our defense hold, watching everyone hype each other up. Our bench was there all year. Everyone had a great, it was a great vibe with the whole group, and they truly became a family. And they used to always, and I've seen it, and I've seen everyone talk about a brotherhood, and I truly saw it. And then had one of the most amazing wins that I've seen before we even get to our championship game. We knocked off the number 1 seed Rumson, who was favored head and shoulders above us, down at Rumson with a last second overtime goal. huge save. Keeler Goodwin stood on his head. Amazing pass, just over outstretched stick of a defender to midfield. Another pass down to the crease, fake into the net. Place went nuts. It was awesome. One of the most fun things that I have seen. And I thought, okay, that's great. That's a great run. We had more. They then went on to beat Caldwell, and beating Caldwell to become sectional champs at Caldwell. And we did all this on the road, which is absolutely amazing. And they just strapped the whole community on their back, and we had community out in full effect at these games. And then in Group 1 lacrosse, the pinnacle for years has been Mountain Lakes. And it's always, let's try to beat Lakes. Let's try to be like Lakes. So we got the chance to play them in the state championship game. And in back and forth game, never lost any composure. The team rallied behind each other, never got too high, never got too low. And Brad Foster, who's now at Indiana, not here, scored the game winner. And just watching that celebration, watching the fans, watching the parents, the whole community was amazing. And they won the overall Group 1 state championship last year. And this is the first time we get to recognize them publicly because of the timing of the game was so late in the school year. So I'd like to give a huge round of applause for our boys lacrosse program. And gentlemen, if you would, I'd like to have you come in. We'll take one nice group shot here in front of everyone. So captains, organize them, and let's get on up front. Shifting over, gentlemen. Taller guys towards the back, not as tall to the front. Right, we gotta
Yeah,
tighten up
there's
by
some-
like 3 feet
So
on each
must be-
side.
Sure.
All right. Eyes up here. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Thank you, gentlemen.
We're going to expect great things from you guys this year. All right, congratulations to the boys lacrosse team. And we're to the opening of school. Here's a great photo of all of our new staff. We assembled them in this very room for training, and the theme was bring your weather, bring the sunshine. So I'm kind of partial to the whole yellow thing now. And this is the first day of school. When all of the staff returns, I thought it might be a great idea to have the marching band come to celebrate the kickoff to school. And we also had the cheerleaders cheer on that the new staff returned. So it was a great positive day for everyone. And at the same time that was happening at the high school with Forest, Linden, and Central, at Ridgewood Avenue, they were engrossed in capturing kids' hearts training at Ridgewood Avenue School. Made possible by the Glen Educational Foundation. Thank you very much to that group. And now, what did we do over summer vacation? You come back from school and, you have to talk about what you did over summer vacation. So here's what the district did over summer vacation. Here's some photos of some of our projects. So we did a lot of paving in district. So this is Ridgewood Avenue School. And that's the main office of the high school, fresh paint, new floors, and more paving. This is Linden Avenue School. And I don't know, I love this picture. That is the rooftop air conditioning unit being hoisted up to the top of the building. I actually got to watch this in the parking lot of the high school. And that's the same unit. It looks kind of small in this picture, but that's that same thing that was hoisted in the air, now affixed to the roof of the high school. And if you've been in the cafeteria or walked through the cafeteria, it's nice and chilly in there because we have the new air conditioning. And once you put a couple hundred teenagers in there, it's actually much better now because there's a lot of air there. I love this project. This is the floors at Ridgewood Avenue School. It almost looks like confetti, and it definitely brightened up the basement of Ridgewood Avenue School. And that was done, the entire basement flooring has been done with this epoxy. Big improvement to the space. This is paving at Central. All these paving pictures we took before they lined them, so now there's actually lines as well. This is one of my favorite projects that was done, the Linden Avenue new playground, which was made possible by the donation from the Linden Avenue Home and School, a grant that Barbara Murphy pursued from the state of New Jersey, and some board funding. So it was kind of a multifaceted project that has come to fruition, and the children are enjoying that new playground. I've added this because these were just installed today at Central Avenue School because the air conditioning unit, the chiller, is no longer working and will be replaced this spring. So in order to make everyone as comfortable as possible, Bob Gomes installed these units today to help with classroom cooling. So I wanted to include these new pictures. And this project is also going on today. This is the bleacher replacement. The biggest semi-truck I've ever seen came through and delivered all the bleachers, and this is the current installation. Rob Hill, are we done? So we should be done with this project by the end of the week, but it's very exciting. Long overdue, so new bleachers to come to the high school. I don't know. All right, so I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of things that have happened at the buildings this summer, all the projects that we completed, and we are back in school. And I did visit every single elementary classroom at Forest, Linden, Central, and Ridgewood. I had a blast. I got the kids to all cheer, happy first day of school. High school kids not as entertained by my presence as the elementary kids are, but they too, I snuck into classrooms, took pictures of kids, say you're going on the website, so they're all excited about that. So happy first day of school, and we've got a lot of work to do. Can't wait to get started. Thank you. That's my report.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, it is time for public comment. First public comment period, which is for agenda items only. I will draw your attention to the public comment parameters, which are on your agendas. I will also add that if you have a public comment, please come forward, sign in at the lectern, and give us your name. Confirm your GR residency. If you're representing a group, please also let us know what that group is. If you have written material, give it to Mrs. Murphy for inclusion in the record. Please limit your remarks to 2 minutes. Kristen, will you be my timer? Okay. And individuals will have one opportunity for public comment at the beginning of the meeting and another at the end. If you have further comments that don't fit within those parameters, you can certainly send them to us in writing. Does anyone have a public comment? Okay. We will then go on to committee and liaison reports. It is the first meeting of the month, and in fact, the only meeting of the month. So I know some of you have not had a chance to meet with your organizations, but for those that have, let's start with our student representative.
Hi. I'm just going to reintroduce myself. I'm Sana. I'm really excited to be the student representative this year. And in the high school, we're going into our second week. So, tests and quizzes are starting to pile up, but there's a lot of exciting things to look forward to. Like we have Ridger Day at the this Friday, and it's kind of just a big pep rally. We have a pep rally for every season. So this is our fall pep rally to introduce all the teams, all the captains, and just do little activities with them. And then we also have the club fair coming up so clubs can get new members and get going. And then we have homecoming October 4th, and that's just like kind of our back to school dance. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a great year.
Thank you. Ray.
I will provide an update on the Central School Home and School Association, which held its first meeting on September 5th. Some questions about the air conditioner chiller were raised, but thankfully the feedback I've received from many parents are that the majority of spaces are comfortable. And I know, as Ms. Kivett, you just explained, air conditioners will, I think, resolve the hot spots that remained, and hopefully the weather continues to help. The HSA purchased a new monitor that's going to go in the hall to showcase things going on around the school. There's a welcome back pizza party this Friday for Central Schoolers and their parents. And lastly, the HSA presented a check for a new fence that will go at the front of the school to create a new area for students and teachers to use. I believe we're voting on that later in the agenda. So that'll be a wonderful addition for Central School.
The Finance Committee met at the beginning of August. We discussed the results of the recent demographic study and discussed presenting that to the public possibly in October. We also talked about large increases in our healthcare costs for the next coming year and ideas on how to lower them by shopping around, basically. Also, we got to hear about all those projects you just saw on the roll from Winnie. The Curriculum Committee hasn't met yet.
Thank you. Darius? Nothing, no committees yet.
So the Personnel Committee met with two vendors for potential vendors to help with the superintendent search. Out of that meeting, we created a comparison sheet for the board to review, which compared the two vendors and our previous self-directed search. That was shared with the board, and the board decided initially to go with an internally driven search. So we will be conducting the search the same way we did last year, actually. There's some, obvious advantages to that, which chief among them are the cost advantages and the fact that we've done it so recently. We have a lot of experience, recent experience in doing this. Our next steps are to construct a timeline that will lay out what we will do with a stated end time in the June-July 2026 timeframe. And so to that end, we're going to meet with the administrative assistant to the superintendent to get the school schedule in line with our schedule. And then we will produce a schedule, share it with the board, get some feedback, and then move forward.
Okay, thank you, Anthony. And we will be, as we move forward with the superintendent search, sharing information with the public as well.
So no updates from negotiations, as there are no active negotiations currently, but I just want to provide a quick update for Ridgewood Avenue Home and School is having their first HSA meeting of the year this Friday on the 12th, starting at 8:45 in the morning. And then the second updates I have are regarding GRACE, which is now the Glenridge CPAC. So GRACE stood for the Glenridge Association for Special Education, and there was a separate organization called CPAC, which is the Special Education Parent Advisory Committee. We decided, or GRACE decided, and GRACE and CPAC decided to merge those two into a single entity so that the Glenridge CPAC will now be providing both parent support groups as well as working with the administration around special education practices throughout the district. And so there is a new website, which you can look for. It's linked to on the Director of Student Services webpage. It's, I don't have my reading glasses, but glenridgecpac.org. Upcoming on Thursday morning, there will be a coffee at Skidoo Cafe at 9:30 in the morning, and they're going to continue to have monthly coffees the second Thursday of each month for parents to gather and share information, potentially do a book club. I think it will evolve as parents are there. The first virtual meeting for the Glenridge CPAC will be September 29th at 8 p.m. And then October 16th, there will be an in-person happy hour at 6:30.
The organization formerly known as the Glenridge Diversity and Inclusion Association is in the process of obtaining a 501c3. They have not met since their last meeting last spring, but they have had a name change. I believe it's now the Glenridge Community Association. And moving down the table.
The middle school and high school first meeting of the school year, HSA meeting for the first meeting of the school year is Friday, September 19th at 8:45 at the Glenridge train station.
Thank you. Duval.
Yes. Okay, so we had a communications committee meeting on August 21st, where Acting Superintendent Mrs. Kiewit shared her commitment to sharing as much positive news as humanly possible, and we have borne witness to that today. She also intends, among other things, to publish a regular newsletter for the parent community to keep everyone up to speed on all the developments in the district. We also discussed opportunities for board members to interact with the community, starting with back to school nights and possibly book fairs and other school events. So if any of you all have ideas, please send them our way. Other places where we can be present and engaged will be helpful. We also discussed messaging and talking points, and we reviewed what board members are allowed and not allowed to say publicly. And that concludes that report. The Forest Avenue Home and School will meet tomorrow night, and I will have a report on them next time, a full report. Thank you.
Kristen.
The Linden Avenue Home and School is meeting tomorrow morning. I want to say it's at 8:45. But you should check your email if you're a Linden parent to make sure I have that time correct. And they have been busy gearing up for the beginning of school. They hosted a back-to-school pizza party, and they have already rolled out information about class parents and the upcoming book fair. So it looks like their home and school committees are off and running already. And I did touch base with Gaslamp. The summer and fall are very busy seasons for them, so I have an update from them. Auditions for A Christmas Story, the musical, are next week. All roles, all ages. They have more information posted on their website, which is gaslampplayers.org. Their fall season is underway. First through fourth graders are rehearsing for Frozen Kids, with a performance date of December 13th. The 5th through 8th graders have started rehearsals today for The Wizard of Oz. they're planning to perform that the weekend of November 15th. Registration is still open for the teen production, which is the 12th night musical. This is for grades 8th through 12th. Auditions are October 3rd, and the performances will be at the end of February. And then just going back to A Christmas Story, for a moment, this is their community main stage event, which means it's for kids and adults. Their holiday performances are always a lot of fun. Auditions, as I said, begin next week. Rehearsals occur generally in the evening, so if you're so inclined and you're a working parent, that rehearsal time will accommodate your schedule, hopefully. And the performances are in early December, the 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Okay. Thank you. We'll now go on with the business portion of our meeting. You all have minutes in your packets from July 22nd as well as August 26th, the special meeting. Does anyone have any changes? No? All right. Jocelyn, may I have a motion to move the minutes? May I have a second? Second from Ray. Since there are no changes to the minutes, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande? Aye. Mr. Bonnet?
Aye.
Mr. Denard?
Yes.
Mr. De Lorenzi?
Yes.
Ms. Gottlieb? Ms. Graham?
Yes.
Ms. O'Neill?
Yes.
Dr. Yaris Ramos?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Now to the administrative items. Kristen, would you move the administrative items?
Yes, I move A1 and A2, followed by A3, 4, and 5 on the addendum.
Okay. Thank you. May I have a second? Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board on the administrative items? No? All right, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande?
8, 3, 4, and 5, and I concur on 8.
Okay.
Mr. Bonnet?
Aye.
Mr. Denard?
Yes.
Mr. De Lorenzi?
Yes.
Ms. Gottlieb? Ms. Graham?
Yes.
Ms. O'Neill?
Yes.
Dr. Yaris Ramos?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. We have come now to personnel. Anthony, would you move the personnel items?
Yes, I'll move P1 through P22, including P1, P2, and P18 on the addendum.
All right, thank you. May I have a second? Thank you. In keeping with statute and the board members' code of ethics, we do not discuss personnel matters in public session. That being the case, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande? Mr. Bonnet?
Aye.
Mr. Denard?
Yes.
Mr. De Lorenzi?
Yes.
Ms. Gottlieb? Ms. Graham?
Yes.
Ms. O'Neill?
Yes.
Dr. Yaris Ramos?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, we have now come to the business items. And, I'm sorry? Curriculum, I'm sorry. Heather, would you move the curriculum items?
Sure, I move C1.
May I have a second?
Second, Teresa.
Second from Tricia. Any discussion on the curriculum items? All right, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande? Mr. Bonnet?
Aye.
Mr. Denard?
Yes.
Mr. De Lorenzi?
Yes.
Ms. Gottlieb? Ms. Graham?
Yes.
Ms. O'Neill?
Yes.
Dr. Yaris Ramos?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Now, we've come to the business items. Heather, would you move the business items?
There are two things numbered B9 and they don't seem related to me. On the regular agenda, there's B9 special education tuition contract agreement.
Okay,
And then there's B9 about a change order. So I think we need to renumber
so
one
we
of
have a
them,
duplicate B9.
but totally unrelated.
So we'll make B9 B15 on the agenda.
16.
Addenda.
There's
B9
already a
becomes
15, So should we
B15.
make that 16?
Oh. There's a 15?
They're in reverse
Oh,
order
above
for
it,
some
sorry.
weird reason.
Yes, so we'll make that 16.
Okay, gotcha.
And then there was a date change on item, where was it? the addendum, B14. One second. B13, there was just a typo in the date, which is now, it's now 2026. July 1, 2025 to July 1, 2026. That's been changed. Okay.
Okay, so with those changes in mind, Heather, would you move
Okay,
the,
so yeah, let me see if I can get them all. So I'm going to move B1 through B16, including the additions to B4 on the addendum.
okay, thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Second from Anthony. Any questions or comments on the business items? Okay, Barbara, would you call the roll? Oh, I'm sorry, before we do that, I would like to draw your attention to B4, which is donations, and also donations that are on the addendum, rather. We had a donation of $81,000 from the Glen Ridge Educational Foundation, Capturing Kids' Hearts, which you just heard about earlier this evening. We had a donation of $447 from the Central School Home and School Association for a TV monitor and mounting bracket. From the Glen Ridge High School Home and School Association, we had a donation of approximately $20,000 to pay for paint, furniture, office signs for the Glen Ridge High School main office. And we also had additional donations of $7,500 approximately from the Central School Home and School Association for a fence, and also a donation of $11,000 approximately for professional development reading program from the Glen Ridge Educational Foundation. I know that Mrs. Wong couldn't be with us here tonight, but Duval, if you will convey our thanks to the Ed Foundation.
I would be happy to.
For their generosity beyond measure. And also thanks to the various home and school associations for their gifts. And now, they've been moved and seconded. Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande, Mr. Bonnet,
Aye.
Mr. Denard,
Yes.
Mr. De Lorenzi,
Yes.
Ms. Gottlieb, Ms. Graham,
Yes, but abstain from B8.
Dr. Yaros Ramos,
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Ginsburg.
Abstain from B6. Aye on all the rest.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you. It's now time for the second public comment period for comments on agenda items or other items pertaining to the running of the schools. The same protocols apply, the same time limit. Does anyone have a comment?
Actually, Betsy, before we do that, I just need to correct a comment I made about the Linden Avenue Back to School Pizza Party. I said it already happened. It's actually next Friday. I had the date. I didn't want anyone to think they had missed it.
Thank you. All right. Does anyone have a public comment? All right, that being the case, the board did not finish its exec session work tonight, so we will be re-adjourning into exec session. There will be no further business concluded tonight. So I thank you all for coming. And board members, may I have a motion to go into exec session?
Motion.
Moved by Anthony. May I have a second?
Second.
Second from Heather. Thank you.
I know. Hold on.
I didn't realize.